Okay, lesson 10 problem set. Number 1, it says estimate the product, solve using an area model and the standard algorithm. Remember to express your products in standard form. Well, this looks like everything we've already done, but what's the difference? What's the difference in this one? Yep. We're going to be multiplying numbers with decimals. But first we need to estimate. So, 1A. We have number 22 times 2 4/10. How do you think we're going to round that? How do you think we're going to round that? Luke, what do you think? So do we need to be afraid of the decimal? No. So we're going to round to the front number still, right? So if we have on A, it says 22 times, did I say 2.4? What do I say? 2 4/10. So I have 20. Ooh, yay. Get my big marker out again. So we have 22 equals so what do you think is going to go on my first blank? What number? But if I round to the front, 20. And what do you think is going to go on my second blank? Jackson H? Huh? 2? So 20 times 2? Everybody? 20 times 2 is the same as saying 20 plus 20. That's 40. Now let's do the area model. Do the area model the same as you've done the others, except you're going to write something different this time when you do it. So make sure you're doing this on problem set. Now look at your place value chart. I have 2 4/10 as my original number, right? What could I also call that number besides 2 4/10? Tariana, what do you think? Yeah, I could call it 24/10, couldn't I? So that's going to go on top, 24/10. We no longer have 2 4/10, we have 24/10. Now I'm starting to understand why they made you guys learn that. Yes, ma'am. No, you don't have to worry about the zeros right now. So we have 24/10, and what's going to go on the side? What's going to go on the side, Jenna? Okay. Or you could do it vice versa. Does it matter which direction you put it? Nope. Now what do I do? Okay, so 24 times 2 is 48. Add the 0 back. But do I have the number 480? What do you think I have right now? Okay, 480 tenths. And then what do I do? Okay, 24 tenths times 2 would be 48, what? Now what do I do? Yeah, of course it's going to move that. There we go. Now what do I do? Connor? Okay, so I'm going to add them together. But I don't want to keep it as tenths. So my answer is 528 tenths, but I don't want it to say 528 tenths. I want to be like a mature fifth grader and get rid of that word tenths and make it a decimal. So what does 528 tenths look like, Nathan?
5 and 100.
No. What's it? What do you think?
It's 52 and 18 because tenths you only have one digit when it's tenths. Not two digits, even though it's decimal tenths. It's 58. Actually 62.
Okay, so you can't have 528 here, right? No. In this place? But you can only keep one number. So you keep the last number, which is the 8. And then the decimal goes behind it. So the answer would be 52 and 8 tenths. Okay, I feel like this right here is new to you, even though you're used to drawing the area model. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to extend this lesson to Monday, but for your homework, here's what I want you to do. You'll have time to finish today in class. So your assignment, everybody wrote this down, right, on the problem set? Okay, good. This is going to be your assignment. Your assignment is going to be lesson 10. We did A together, but some of you might not have written it down. The exit ticket, 1A and B. And okay, that's, make sure you circle that. You should circle it. I'm going to start, because if you don't circle it and you turn your paper late, sometimes I don't remember which ones we did. Now, here's what you're doing. Here's your assignment. So pay attention. You're going to circle these, but then you need to write at the top of your page or somewhere so that you won't forget. So you're going to only do estimate and the area models. Because on Monday, then, we're going to talk about how to solve decimals using the standard algorithm. So this should give you practice today finishing the area models. So by Monday, you'll know exactly how to do an area model with decimals, right? Based on our example today. And the estimate, you already know how to do those too. Okay, today we're going to finish lesson 10. I had you the other day draw area models with the decimals, and I also had you estimate the numbers. Let's look at B on problem set, lesson 10. So it's 2C8, number 1B. Lesson 10 problem set 1B. So it's 2C8. Look in your pages I just passed back to you. Look in your pages I just passed back to you. Okay, so this expression is comprised of two numbers. And one of them is a decimal. So we have Ray Champion, tell me another way to write that number. Actually, I need to draw sticks. Let me draw some sticks. Number 2. What's another way to write that number? Okay, so we could call it 3 1/10, or we could call it 31 tenths. And that comes in that's a pretty important detail in this lesson. So when we do our area model, remember the other area models, how we, I feel like I'm starting to just kind of like fade. I think someone might have breathed something on me, I don't know. I'm not feeling quite flippy right now. So when we drew our area models, which you guys just did over the weekend, right? Or just in the last class period. Looks something like this. Well, I don't know. It might look something like that, and it might not. I wonder why it's doing green. Huh? So fill color. There, okay. Thank you, guys. And then we have this. Looks kind of like a gift box, doesn't it? Do you remember in the past when we did these and we said something like this? Do you remember that? When we multiply? Yeah? But is that number actually on the top? Is that number actually 3, 1? What is that number? It's 31? Well, I don't know. We're solving this expression right here. Alexis? It's 31 tenths. Good job. So next time I'm going to write tenths. Make sure you check that you've done this. Is a 3 also counted as tenths right now? Mm-hmm. Okay, so how do you say this number right here? This number right here. How do you say that number? 33. You say 33. And when you express that on here, you put a 30 and a 3, right? Well, this is, we said 31 tenths. So what am I missing? Add a 0 behind the 3. So what's 3 times 30? 90. And 30 times 30. Yep. You can put it anywhere you want. 30 times 30. 900. And now what do I do? Camden? I guess. Okay, now what do I do? 18, what do I do? Now what do I do?
30 times 1 is 30.
And 3 times 1 is? Now what do I do? Jenna? Okay, I left my 30 behind, but at this point I don't care about the 30. So 90 plus 3 equals 93 what? And 900 plus 30 equals 930. Do you know why we did tenths for the bottom one also? Do you know why we did that?
Because then we are multiplying 1, which is a 10.
Okay. But is this number right here 33 tenths? Just 1. But when we multiplied, remember this number right here used to just be 3, but we added a 0 to it. So we've multiplied all numbers times an extra 10, didn't we? So now we add this together. So 93 plus 930. 3 plus 0 is 9 plus 3? 12. Carry the 1. It's 1,023. But how does that look as a decimal so I don't have to write tenths afterwards? Jackson? Yep. Got it? So that answer was 102. 3 tenths.
31 times 30 in my first class, and I got 930. And I did 3 times 31, where it's 7, and then 9
Because that's a commutative property where you can, and the commutative property says that you can rearrange the numbers and they'll still equal the same amount. So today we're going to move on. We're going to do this a little differently. First, they want us to start like this, so that's what we're going to do because we're going to follow along. You know, my first instinct is to take the easy route and show you guys that, but I'm learning that that doesn't work very well with this. Number 8, come solve it for us.
Okay, so we're going to do 3 times 1, which is 3, and then 3 times 3 is 9, and then you're going to carry a 0, and then 3 times 1 is 3, 3 times 3 is 9, 3 plus 0 is 3, 9 plus 3 is 12, carry the 1, 9 plus 9, and then if you add the 1, 10, and then the 10th, so you're just going to add a decimal.
Okay, so that's one way that you've learned it. I'm going to show you a different way. This is how they want me to show you, so pay close attention. Follow along closely. In fact, I'll be nice and I'll do one of your homework problems for you. How's that? So we have Lesson 10 homework, page 2C12, and I'm on 2C, the back of it. Okay, the whole difference between the problems we've been doing in the past and the problem we're doing right now is that it has a decimal. And we want to get rid of the decimal. So what do I need to do to 3 3/10 to get rid of the decimal? Let's look at it this way. What can I do to move that number, boom, out of there? Go ahead. You want to add 10? What do you think?
3 in the 10th
No. Without rounding, we want to move this decimal. Decompose? No. Good. You have to, if you multiply it by 10, remember your numbers, your decimal goes to the right, and your numbers would end up over here, right? So times 10. Now I have the number 33 times 16.
Okay. First, we do 6 times 3, and it equals 18. And since it has 1 in the tens place, we put 1 on top of the 3. 6 times 3 plus 1 would equal 19. And since there's no other number in the hundreds place, we put 1. 1 times 3 equals 3. And I also forgot to cross out the 1. 1 times 3 equals 3. Then you add them all together. 8 plus nothing. Yeah. Oh. Okay. You add the 8, you put the 8 down, and since there's nothing, you just put 8. 9 times 3 equals 12. 1 plus 3 plus 1 equals 5. And since there was a decimal. Okay.
Okay, so your answer is 528, right?
Mhm.
Okay, good. So do you remember those? So the answer that he arrived at is 528. Do you remember those problems where we multiply or we added? What did we do? We multiplied, that's right. We had this number, and we changed it to 20 by adding 1. Do you remember that? Remember we added 1 extra 5 to it, and then at the end, what did we have to do? If we added it, then we had to? You'd have to subtract. So we began this problem by multiplying by 10. So we end up with this number. And what's going to happen to it when we divide by 10?
It's gonna go and it's gonna be like 5 and 28 stuff. Wait, 5 and 28.
Okay, remember here's our decimal now, and when we divide, what way does the decimal go? To the left or to the right? Alexis? To the left. So where's it going to go? If we divide by 10, our decimal's going to go to the left. That's right. And the numbers go one place to the right. So the answer would be 52 8/10. Now I'm going to keep reviewing that method with you, but the other method you would do is, your answer is 528. There's one number behind the decimal. That means in your answer you'll have one number behind the decimal. It's 52 8/10. But I'm not going to skip these processes because who knows? I think you might need it. Let's solve the word problem. That's part of your homework, and I'm going to let you guys work on this and finish it. Number 3, Mr. Jansen is building an ice rink in his backyard that will measure 8 4/10 meters by 22 meters. What is the area of the rink? Anytime they give me a word problem, especially with area, I draw it. So there's my ice skating rink. What do we know? Jillian? Okay, and how do we find area? What is area of a shape? How do you find that, Jessica?
You add 22 plus times 8 and 4 meters.
Times 22. So if I do 8 and 4/10, I would multiply that by 10, right? Which would give me 84. Times 22. 2 times 4, everybody? 2 times 8. Add a 0, start in the tens place. 2 times 4 is 2 times 8. $1,848. Now what do I need to do? I start out by multiplying by 10. Now what do I need to do, Camden? Yep. Divide by 10. What would my answer be? Got it? So your assignment is just going to be all of homework, front and back. Most of you have already done your area model, so that's good. And once you're done, you can turn it in. Make sure your name's on it.